I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, and the Cincinnati Bengals as they match up with Jared Goff and the NFC champion LA Rams. I'll see you again with scores and updates at halftime. But for now, it's my distinct pleasure to hand things over to our broadcast team. It's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
On a pretty gray and hazy day here in Southern California, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Los Angeles. The City of Angels showing it can be loud and raucous. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad emerged from the tunnel. They're ready for football and ready to watch their Rams do battle with Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, if you go by the 2018 record, this one, it's a mismatch on paper. That's what it is. But I know you, and I have a feeling you're going to say, with respect to a broadcasting legend, not so fast, my friend.
Not only that, I hear you're not so fast, and I raise you. Have you ever heard the term any given Sunday? Or should I say Thursday, or Monday, or Saturday? Whenever the NFL teams play, anything can happen.
Greg Zuerlein, the Rams kicker, approaches, kicks it off, and here we go from Los Angeles. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Andy Dalton set to lead out this Bengals offense at the controls for the 9th year, the man out of TCU. First and 10 for Dalton. He's got Green. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Right here. Double tight, guys, double tight. Bring it.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way, lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw and able to find Green. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. Green last year had the lowest numbers of his career output-wise, 694 yards, 6 touchdowns. But, of course, there was a reason for that. He was battling a toe injury the second half of the season. And, boy, did the Bengals miss his presence. They limped to the finish line, losing 7 of their last 8. They are happy to have him back and healthy. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And the catch good, it's Eifert. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. And a look now at the Cincinnati offense.
And the big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs? Because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And the Rams defense gets to him again behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to have a third down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton. On the screen, Bernard. And he's taken down inside the 30. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 29-yard line. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Gets it to his running back, Bernard. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game too. This is Joe Mixon, 4th in the NFL in rushing last season. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. The defense here for the Rams.
Clay Matthews is an absolute force. Multiple Pro Bowls as an outside linebacker. He can swing inside and create the same havoc.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Dalton. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. Dalton here from the gun. This is caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, he did everything but get him in the end zone there, but now they're set up golden opportunity. Strong opening drive, and they're knocking on the door.
And the way that they did it, now look where they are on the field, all right? This is naturally set up for a running play, isn't it? But with his ability to throw the football, his accuracy on this drive, you might want to think about a pass play in this situation.
Interesting. Time to find out. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Here's a run with Mixon, and he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Mixon trying to punch it in. And the Rams defense gets to him again behind the line of scrimmage. They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
The Ram fans in this old stadium on their feet. 3rd and goal. From the gun, Dalton. Green's open. open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass, and they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Partner, are they going to cover him? That's 4 catches and the touchdown grab on that opening drive.
Well, what we're seeing so far, I believe, is their understanding that they want to go to him and often, but also they know they've got to move him around a little bit, get him into some different spots to continue to find open space to throw him the football. Otherwise, I just run 2 or 3 guys at him. They're doing a nice job of finding his way open, scheming him, as they like to say.
Extra point up and good by Bullock, and that makes the score 7-0. So that one a 13-play drive in total, and it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Okay, Jared Goff coming onto the field with the rest of the Rams offense, and they did not produce much week 6 against the 49ers, a 20-7 loss. And Goff, Charles, he really struggled. Threw for only 78 yards, and that was after he threw for over 900 combined in weeks 4 and 5.
But the problem with throwing for over 900 combined in weeks 4 and 5? Came away with no victories in those weeks either. So everyone is jamming the run game with them, and there's not much of that. Todd Gurley didn't play in this last game, but hadn't been giving them what you're used to getting anyway. And boy, did they clamp down on the receivers in this one. How about this? They didn't convert a 3rd or 4th down all game. 0 for 13. Would you have ever expected that with the Los Angeles Rams and their offense?
Not at all. And those 78 yards, as you might suspect, the fewest for Goff in his 44 NFL starts. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now the 3rd leading rusher in the NFL last year, Todd Gurley. And that is not going to get it done either. Once again, he's stopped behind the line by this Bengals D.
There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack. But I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone and into the offensive backfield. He's a heck of a player.
And there, a big TFL, tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back. He's bred this big defensive tackle.
Here's Goff. Airing it out deep for Woods. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Out come the Cincinnati Bengals again, and they are 0-6 for the first time since 2008. It's been a struggle, obviously, to start the season for them, CD.
To put it mildly, and they got such great momentum in their last game because they jumped out to a 7-0 lead because they returned the opening kickoff 92 yards. Brandon Wilson thought they got them jump-started, but the offense, they struggled the rest of the way. 3 points until Andy Dalton's rushing touchdown late in the 4th quarter. Tough loss against Baltimore.
Next up, they'll be home to Jacksonville, home to the Rams before an open week, and then home to see these same Ravens that they lost to in Week 6. All that only nets them a yard. It's 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football. They're staring up at a 3rd and 9 to start it out. Operating from the gun, Dalton. He's got his man, Boyd. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. It's a jet sweep. They get it to Green, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now on 2nd and 13, Dalton. He completes it to Boyd. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Bengals on 3rd down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Dalton. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. JoJo Natson back deep for the Rams. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. LA Rams getting the football back here as they make their way out. CD, I wanted to talk to you about that 3-game losing streak they're on. First time that's happened under Sean McVay. Is this the first real adversity they've faced with him as a head coach?
I would say the first sustained adversity, because look, we all get it, right? You know, injuries pop up, you know, you lose a game you expect to win, but let's be honest about it. From the time he's taken over, they've run the NFC West. And you remember that game in Seattle a couple of years ago where they just blasted the Seahawks? It was a changing of the guard. Well, now they've got to fight just to be the top of the food chain in their own division. So yes, sustained adversity, 3-game losing streak. It's a big deal for the Rams right now.
Coming up, they do go to Atlanta, who's struggling, then to London to play Cincinnati, also struggling, so they'll try to get 2 wins before their open week.
Yeah, these are games where, what's the term that they use in the NFL? These are get-right games, and they need to get right so they can get back into the NFC West battles and feel like they have confidence in doing so.
Yeah, because you think about it, they're already 2.5 games behind the 49ers in the NFC West. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. So many questions about Todd Gurley in the offseason. How good is the knee? I mean, remember, he had a heavy workload the last couple years, nearly 4,000 yards from scrimmage, 40 total touchdowns, but just 4 carries in the NFC Championship game, 10 in the Super Bowl. So we'll see what kind of usage he gets this season. So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. Darqueze Dennard there to make the tackle.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd.
He can't hang.
From the gun, here's Goff. Gets this into the hands of the tight end Higbee. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, the big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Now we see a man who got a workout in last year's Super Bowl, Johnny Hecker, on to punt for the Rams. Back deep, Alex Erickson.
Let's go, son.
Getting set to go again, Andy Dalton marches back onto the field. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm. Throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Dalton. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. And now it's 2nd down. Okay, now I want to revisit what we were doing earlier, contender versus pretender. We did the AFC. Let's rock the NFC here, starting with the New York Giants.
Pretender, but much improved.
Okay, NFC North, how about the Vikings?
Contender, no doubt about it.
Carolina in the South, what do you think there?
Contender and ascending.
Okay, quarterback play has become a good thing for them. Finally, out west, how about the Arizona Cardinals?
Pretender. The division's just way too tough. There are 3 teams better than them.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Dalton. Finding Green complete. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Throwing again on 2nd down, Dalton. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 31-yard line.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Strip the ball.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Green brings it in. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Andy Dalton now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Another chance for Dalton. Got a man open. It's Ross. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. Open man is Ross, complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
At the 7-yard line.
This will be Dalton again. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. And Dalton to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Giovanni Bernard, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. But now it's 3rd and goal. The Ram fans in this old stadium on their feet. 3rd and goal. From the gun, Dalton. Green's open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A.J. Green in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Now Bullock to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. A 10-play drive that time. And it ends with a Bengals score. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
We won.
final shot before break here. Goff. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0 as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports halftime report. This one has certainly been one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference as the teams have already come back out onto the field for the second half. So let's get you back out as well to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Watch the twist, watch the twist.
He'll have a first down past the 40. 12 yards there and a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
We go tonight. Like 20. On deck, baby, on deck.
On first down, it's gone. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 16 yards is the pickup there, and a first down for L.A.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. It was Jordan Evans making the play defensively.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the slant, watch the slant.
Goff, a quick throw complete to Cooks. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. the gun. Goff. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So they decline it as that will bring up fourth.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it fourth down.
So on fourth down, here comes Greg Zuerlein to try and get 3 for the Rams. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that too, but it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Well, we got a second. Let's look ahead to Week 7 and what's on the slate. Things start out Thursday night. Kansas City at Denver, divisional battle.
Suddenly an interesting game. Kansas City having lost their last 2, and Denver now playing defense as we expected. But how about the NFL 100 game of the week? Oakland at Green Bay, a rematch of Super Bowl II.
Also have New Orleans at Chicago and Philly visiting Dallas on Sunday night.
That is a huge one in the NFC East.
Yeah, both teams 3-3. The winner will have the lead in that division.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They're running it.
3rd and 2 for Dalton. And that will be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 22. They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Goff going to hand it to Gurley. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
180. Rip right, rip right.
The play fake to Gurley. Now gone. He's going to air one out. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Robert Woods, former USC man, the intended target, but it's going to be second down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Carlos Dunlap, the defensive end, the one to bring him down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Goff now to throw. And that is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that will go out of the back of the end zone. Way too much mustard. Not a good punt, and it will come out to the 20. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at the 20. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. He's got Green. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Dalton on the draw to Mixon. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
Now on 2nd and 13, Dalton, and he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Kevin Huber now. as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Rams are going offense here with a 1st and 10. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Geno Atkins gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Jared Goff, 4 times last year, he led the Rams on a 4th quarter comeback. He obviously didn't do it in Super Bowl 53, but can he do it here? The throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. To throw is gone. They got a man. It's Woods. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
Well, that's something you haven't had to talk about much this game. A nice big play right there. But this team, overall, they haven't done a whole lot offensively.
Well, they're still sitting on the goose egg. We talk about defenses having pride in a shutout. This offense wants to get rid of that 0. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Goff throwing again. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Now a draw as Goff gives to Gurley. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 11 yards there, 1st down. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Goff. Open man, Higbee, the tight end. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Tackles.
A shotgun snap for Goff. And it's caught. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you've got to match that aggressiveness. No points so far in this game. Moving the football, got to be that way to go against them and try and get some points on the board.
And I'm curious on the defensive side if they stay aggressive, because you know they want to pitch this shutout.
Yeah, they have to be aggressive. But
feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Ryan Glasgow busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But, Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, 1st and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls, they were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. On the draw, Goff gives to Gurley. And a little bit of space there, takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Man, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
They'll try and run it in with Brown. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run as his guys are back within a single score.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. All right. right, here now a look at A.J. Green. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here, all right? Let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it. Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Jet sweep, Boyd with it. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Check safety, check safety.
Dalton gives to Bernard. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. The Rams go nickel here defensively on 3rd. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So Goff and the Rams down 14-7. 1:40 remaining. They need a touchdown to the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10.
We go tonight. 180. Here we go,
He'll look to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really, start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Back to throw. Dumps it off to Gurley. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 11 yards there, 1st down. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it, but they've got to continue to move quickly.
First down now, but the clock continues to move. Now gone. Well, that'll be caught by Cup. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. I don't know that those medium 5-ish yard gains are going to do it right now. Probably should have dropped it, right?
Yeah, that way you save more time on the clock. But I know receivers, they think they can catch it and break a tackle and turn it into a big gain.
Clock continuing to roll as the Rams try to get going again. Gurley. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to fourth down.
It's fourth down.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on fourth down. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Los Angeles, so long, everybody.